Alright, so in this chapter we're going to do just a tad bit of geometry. Some of that geometry I think should be area and perimeter. I think that the shapes on the board you should already be kind of familiar with, so I just wanted to remind you, in case you forgot, how to do area, perimeter of any of these. And hopefully we have enough information on each one. And I should also put some units on each one. So let's say all these measurements for the triangle, let's say these are inches, let's say these are centimeters, let's say these are feet, a very large circle. And let's say these are meters. So very large pentagon as well. All right. So I thought we'd start with maybe the easiest one, this rectangle dude. So what is the generic formula for the area of a rectangle and the perimeter of a rectangle? You said for area it's base times height. Something gets divided by 2 for a rectangle, though? Is a rectangle just like length times width, base times height? Okay, so Richard's given us over here. Richard's saying for a triangle, the formula is, yeah, base times height times 1/2 or divided by 2. Good. Okay? That works for any triangle where you have the base and the height, so hopefully we have it for this one. How about perimeter for both of these kind of shapes? Yeah, it doesn't really matter what shape you are, right? Like you can just add all the sides. So let's even just put that. Let's put add all sides. That's the general idea. So it's pretty easy. So this guy, there's a shortcut for this guy. Since Colton said base and height, I'm assuming he means like the 12 on this one's the base and the 7 is the height. What's the shortcut? You could add up all 4, sure. There's a shortcut too, which you don't have to use. It's up to you. Aren't there 2 of these?
Oh, you can just multiply.
And there's 2 of those? Yeah, so use it or not. So you can go 2 bases plus 2 heights. Okay, great. So we're going to actually find each one in a second here. First, we're just getting the formulas down. How about for a circle? Is what? Is that the perimeter or the area, man?
Area.
Area. The way to remember that one's the area is because it has a squared, and the units for area are squared because it's 2-dimensional, right? So it should be pretty easy. And the perimeter, what's the perimeter of a circle? I think it has another name. It has a special name. It's the circumference. Let's write that. Make sure you get all this down, yeah? Because I'm going to do a notebook check at some point. And what is it? 2 pi r, yes. And perimeter is just a length, right? It's not an area, so that one has linear units, while this one has squared units. It's right in the formula. If you think like that, you're never going to mix them up. So, pentagons, I don't think we know how to find the area of yet. Maybe we'll look at that next week. But we could definitely find the perimeter the same way we've been doing, add up all the sides, right? So let's go ahead and do it for all these shapes quickly. So what is the area of this first triangle going to be? Half. What's its base? 9. The 9. Good. What's its height?
20.
Taylor? 6. The 6. There's some other kind of extra info in there, but not for the area. So what is that? 36? 9 times 6, 36? No. 54, thanks. So we get 27, and get your units on here for sure. So what are my units?
Squared.
What squared?
Inches squared.
Inches squared. Sweet. So I'll do that in blue, and we'll do the perimeter in red for each one. So what's the perimeter of this guy? That should be really easy. 29, right? Those 2 is 29 plus what?
6.
Is that one of the actual sides?
Oh no.
What's this side?
Oh, that's.
What do these 3 little marks mean?
It's the same.
Means it's the same. Those are congruent tick marks. So that means that's 9 too. So really it's what, 38?
Yeah.
38 what?
Inches.
Inches. Are we filling this triangle up with water? Okay, cool. All right. So over here, the area. And you know what? On this guy, I wanted to make it a little bit more interesting, so I wanted the area that's shaded in. Just the area that's shaded in. So we're going to have to subtract something, right?
We're gonna have to subtract 7.
Don't I have to think about like the rectangle minus the triangle hole in order to get just the shaded parts? What shape is that, by the way, that shape that I have there shaded in? We might get to that next week. Two parallel bases. The trapezoid. Very good. Okay. So, the rectangle's easy, right? What do we do for the rectangle area? What times what? 12 times 7. 12 times 7 is 84, I think. And then my triangle formula is half. What's the triangle's base?
It's 7.
What's the base of that triangle?
12 7.
I think it's 7 high.
Oh, it's 6.
Base of the triangle's right here.
It's 6.
No.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
the 2
it's-
marks are saying that it's the same. And for them to be the
You
same.
got this.
I think Logan is correct. It's 6 because the 2 marks say that it's the same on each piece, and the whole thing is 12. So each one's got to be 6 to make the 12. Very good. So the base was our 6, and then we had times 7 high. So it's going to be 84 minus half of 6 is 3. Minus 21. 63. What are my units? Centimeters. Squared or not?
Yes.
Squared, because we wanted to see how much it took to fill up that shaded area, right? It's that many square centimeters that it takes, which actually I think is kind of good. I'm guessing that's about right for the board. So, perimeter, of course, we can just add things up, so I'm not going to do it on that one. All right. Let's see, this guy. I'm gonna do some erasing here, get myself a little more space. So the area over here, we're gonna go pi, and the radius on that guy is the x minus 8, right? Diameter is the part that goes all the way across. So it's x minus 8 quantity squared. I don't think we know how to do this yet, so you can just leave it for now. We'll learn how to do that tomorrow or the next day. We do have units, feet squared. The circumference or perimeter is going to be 2 pi times the radius. That, I think you guys can probably figure out. We're going to be doing lots of stuff like that tomorrow and the next day, but I think you should be able to figure that out already. What do you think I should do with that 2 in the pi?
Oh, do distribute.
Distribute, right? It's outside parentheses, so distribute it to both. That I would like you to make sure you do. If you see anything where you can distribute on that worksheet with the different shapes, the hexagons, the pentagons, make sure you do distribute it, okay? Does that make sense, girls? All right, so we get what? 2 pi x and minus 16 pi. So that's the answer there. And I got to get my units in there, right? Is this square units or regular length units?
Square.
This is just, remember, circumference is the perimeter, which is just how far it is around. I mean, you could like cut the circle right there and stretch it out. It's just a line measured in feet. Okay. And then this guy over here, again, I don't think we know how to do the area of that yet. We'd have to learn some more stuff. I'm not going to do that today. But we could do the perimeter. Let's see, who can help me with the perimeter on this one? What do I have to add up?
You have to add up all sides.
So how many?
6.
5, so help me add, let's go.
Okay, so
That one, I'm gonna put big pluses in between terms. Plus, x plus 3 plus, that's only 3 sides. Lindsay, what? Where's your other x squared?
X plus 3.
Oh, because these two are both, okay. So that one's x squared as well, she's telling me. And then, of course, we need one more thing.
X plus 3.
One more x plus 3 for over there. Very good, and I think that's big and ugly. Let's try to make it a little nicer and more condensed. So how am I going to condense that down? Is there anything that's the same that we can put together? I think we've been doing that.
All the X's.
All the x parts, right? How many x's do we have?
5.
1, 2, 3 x's. Let's put this in descending order, right? 3 x's.
And then 2x squared.
We got 2x squareds. Plus in between, separate them. Done, 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 done. I just have 7 and 3 and 3. Is that 13?
Yeah.
Great. And then, so this guy, the perimeter of this pentagon can be represented by this polynomial. What kind of polynomial is this? Because you guys are going to need that for your quiz in just a second.
It's a cubic triangle.
Close.
Oh, sorry.
It's
quadratic.
Quadratic because of the squared. Quadratics is what we're going to be working with a whole bunch in the next couple chapters. They're very important. Also known as parabolas. Yeah? So this guy's a quadratic trinomial. Cool.